This took me over 12 hours to fully lay out. Yeah, because I don't use Limatica, I have to build all of my structures using a temporary building block, in this case, diorite, to fully see exactly how my builds are put together in hardcore Minecraft. And from down here, I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see how this develops from here on out. And as you guys may notice, I have a little bit of a cheeky foundation being placed in here. Don't worry, it's not going to be blackstone at the end, especially on the exterior, but on the interior, well, I'll show you guys what that's going to look like in just a bit. And for those of you guys who may have missed the last episode, we finalized the Coral Palace, which I'm extremely happy with the way everything turned out here. But in today's episode, not only did we lay out the Temple of Time, but we are also going to be building a void floor. And for those of you guys who are wondering exactly what a void floor is, well, I'm going to show you. But one thing that we're absolutely going to need that is going to be super integral to bringing together the void floor is, well, a absolute ton of glass. And I have just the librarians for the job, so it's a good thing that I've been trading up all this iron lately to make up all these emeralds. And recently, we just passed over 2 million villager trades, because without a raid farm, we have to do things a little bit differently around here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of villagers who will sell me glass, so I'm definitely going to have to remedy that situation. Obviously, I'm thinking about getting over 100 masons and 100 librarians in the world, just so I'm able to buy a lot more quartz and especially, well, glass. And you know what else would be really cool? What if I also got 100 clerics so I can buy tons of bottles of enchantment? Fits with the space theme. And yes, for those of you guys who are wondering, it is going to be a space-themed Temple of Time for none other than the Titan of Time himself, Krabby Kronos. Not only am I going to be having a giant Milky Way rift above the temple itself, we're going to have a lot of space elements within the temple, and there's going to be a lot of magic involved throughout. So let's begin with a void floor. You know what? I really love the way that this turned out. Take a look. It looks like we're just walking above the galaxy right on over here with all of the candles and the black glass layered in between. I really love the way this is shaping up. Speaking of, I'm trying to do the inside wall right here. You guys have yet to see a time lapse of this wall because I'm going to do a time lapse of this wall for you guys. Right now, I'm just trying to figure this all out live on my Twitch channel. You guys want to check that out? Links down below. But I love the way that everything here is shaping up slowly but surely. I've kind of redesigned a little bit of the archways. As you guys can see, there's a big difference. I've brought down the pillars all the way down into the void. There are some stuff I need to connect up and whatnot. I'm just kind of leaving it open as it is because I'm not sure what the next stage in this wall's development is going to be. So I'm just been kind of taking it one block at a time. Over here, I did just go down with the black concrete, thinking that that was what I was gonna go with originally, but I definitely like this side a lot better. I will keep the black concrete going all the way around the perimeter of the walls, just because I feel like it kind of helps make a little bit of a separation between these pillars and the back wall over there. I kind of want it to blend into absolutely nothing. Let me see if I can give you guys a little bit of a better look up here. So I've used up a bunch of different color of glass. You guys can't really see it all too much. Once I start getting a roof on here, everything in this vicinity is really going to pop a lot better. Flying on over here, and I fell. This is exactly why we have Linkzzey, my boy, the guy who helps me build all these builds. Anyways, here's a little bit of a closer look at what I've got going on around here so far. So I've got the anvils layered in the front. I've got the soul lanterns in the front as well. And I've started to incorporate a little bit of the dark oak wood, which is why I have the dark oak logs going from the very bottom all the way up to the very top of the build. So I can get away with using a different color within this block palette. You guys will see a lot of other blue tones, cyan tones, and that's pretty much about what we're going to go with, which means that this build is going to be a two-tone build. On the exterior, I almost said interior and exterior at the exact same time there, so don't mind me. From the exterior, it's going to be a light gray and green palette. So we're going to have like light gray, dark prismarine, all that kind of stuff, a lot of greens. And then as we fly into the Temple of Time, it's going to be very dark and cyan blue kind of palettes. You know what I mean? I think that's all going to very complement one another. So I'm going to figure out this wall, get these archways in place, and then start working my way all the way around here. And hopefully I have a time lapse for you guys. Well, I got the walls finished up and I got a lot more stuff to show you. So obviously this wall is completed, did portion of the ceiling, wrapped the ceiling all the way around and started to do this entire wall over here. I've balanced out a lot of the lighting issues I was having by incorporating lots of candles up in there. And I think I also hid a bunch of candles. If I could fly up here, hold on. Yeah, I also hid a bunch of candles in behind here. I didn't want to light these guys because I didn't want the orange flicker to be on the very top. And I've slowly worked my way all the way up the build, hiding as many lights as I possibly can. But it's not like you can see those lanterns from way down here. I've also lit up the void effect a little bit better. So this center bit doesn't have a big giant black hole where we look like we're being like basically sucked into nothingness. So I have a little bit of some hidden lighting there. Behind these trapdoors, I've also hidden some lighting. I've incorporated the element of green. I think that the green looks really well in this whole area with like all the blue stained glass. We have a little hint of green. And as we walk through here, I have the gradient of glass going up there. Behind all of these walls, I have even more light. Because I didn't even know this. Did you guys know this? Did you know that light actually goes through walls in Java? I had no idea. So that's super handy. Also incorporated the candles along here. Hidden lighting all up in there. The smokers and having the walls, I think, really adds to this area. And of course, a cheeky chandelier in each and every one of these like little archways. I think, like, as we look at it from like right here, it's like perfectly framed at the very top of that arch. And as we walk through, it kind of shows a little bit more. And honestly, I don't think I've ever actually used the soul torch before in any of my builds. Sorry, I had to get a cheeky snack right there. Notice I was starving to death, so had to remedy that situation. The outside, obviously, I haven't touched a single thing. I am working from the interior to the exterior on this build, which I might start doing a lot more frequently, because I don't know about you guys, but when you're building the exterior to things and you're working your way into the interior, it's very easy for your walls to become extremely thick. I think this is a 9-block wall thick, like whole wall on both sides, right? So 4 blocks just being the exterior, and then an additional 4 blocks being the interior. I think like by building the interior first, I can mitigate the amount of troubles that I'm going to have when I get to build out the whole exterior here. So that's probably going to be something I'm just going to kind of do from here on out. The centerpiece right here, we're getting really close to being able to get that going. I'm going to have to have like, you know, expand the void all the way out to here. Eventually it'll go all the way down there and go all the way down there as well. And then I got a really cool ceiling that I want to place in here. And we're going to have this ceiling from here. It's going to bleed out into this area. It's also going to bleed out into that area and that area. And I think it's going to look wicked. Because obviously, as I've already mentioned, I want to have a giant Milky Way above this entire temple, making it look like there's been a rift in time and space almost. And I think I can incorporate that in a really cool way into the interior as well, by having a little bit of like kind of like the solar Milky Way aspect going into like a ring of galaxy right here. And I cannot wait to build this. The only issue is well, I'm quickly running out of resources in order to build this. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a hiatus and try to gather up a little bit more resources so I can continue forward. But don't worry, that's a tomorrow link problem on stream. I won't carry you guys all through that. I know you guys aren't very interested in it, but if you guys do want to be a part of the resource grind, well, you know where to find me over on Twitch. I'll link my channel down below in the description. And of course, if Twitch isn't your thing, I'm obviously live over on YouTube as well, but you probably already know this because you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, right? But if not, you owe me a like. And if you did, well, you owe me a like as well. So please like the video. Also, for those of you guys who are asking me when this part of my base is going to be finalized, I promise it's coming up soon. I'm currently redoing all of the islands for 50,000 days because that is coming up alarmingly quick, very, very fast. So I'm going to be redoing all of the islands, and then I'm making my way over to Viking Bay, and then that's when I'll finally be able to finish my base. And Viking Bay is going to be a continuation of the Great Lakes that I built out here in the Massa region. I think I want to put in a major waterfall, of course, coming out of the Great Lakes, and I want to create the whole Viking Bay like whole thing going on around here. I think it's going to be a spectacular way to expand the Massa. I think it's also going to be a very nice way to connect the Massa with the cold area over here. I did start this world back in 1.20 or no 1.15. Sorry, not. I'm so used to saying 1.21.7 because I get asked what version of the game I play so often, but I started this world back in 1.15, so back in the day, warm biomes and cold biomes being side by side used to be a thing. I'm glad that's not a thing anymore, but this will be the Viking Bay. I'm going to be doing a little bit of Harvest Hollows. Maybe I'll even get to do these islands over here, although not exactly sure what I want to do with those islands just yet, but I already have the Viking ship heading over towards Viking Bay, so I think that's pretty fitting. In addition, another thing I'm working on for 50,000 days is a world map of my entire world. For those of you guys who are brand new to the channel or just want to kind of see the world in a different way, I'm working on a way to basically translate that to each and every single one of you guys so you guys can follow along the way. And before you ask, yes, there will be merch, and I'll let you guys know inside the Discord when that merch will drop. So I'm obviously very excited for that, but Look at what I got. I think we are now officially ready to start taking on the Milky Way galaxy. And then I'm going to start mapping out how it's going to look like up here. And everything's going to come into this like central area. I even made myself a nice little window right here. So I'm going to come up with a cool like stained glass design as a big focal point to this whole deal. I've got a few ideas. And then of course I'm going to start expanding down this way. And then right on over here, I'll continue to keep expanding out that way. It is a little bit dark in this whole area, but looking at the floor underneath me, oh my God, it looks so incredible. Incredible. I don't know what I just said there. Incredible? I don't know, but I'm loving the way this whole build is shaping up. And then once the Temple of Time is completed, we're going to start building our bridge, and we're going to transition over here to the God of Wisdom. Yeah, that means that we're going to have 2 full builds in this area to kick off the whole medieval kingdom. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. I've been working very hard on bringing this whole temple together, and every single like goes an incredible way. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being here today and checking out the episode. Hope you guys have all been enjoying the short form contents and of course the live streams as I design everything that you guys see here without the help of Lightmatica or any other creative tools. Just me, a dream, and a bit of freehanding along the way. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Maybe I'll see you guys in the lives. And I hope you guys have yourself a beautiful day. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Bye.